Whopper, but made from plants. Brand new on island and only at Burger King, 7 Mile Beach, Waterfront, Walkers Road, and Red Bay.
For the Record is brought to you by Vamped Motors, the only authorized Ford and Toyota dealership serving the Cayman Islands. Coca-Cola, available across the Cayman Islands from Tortuga Distributors. Accept no substitutes. Taste the feeling with Coca-Cola. Brand Source Home Gallery, inspiring luxury. Caribbean Bakery, made Cayman fresh.
Also brought to you by Ropers Enterprises, 122 Industrial Way. Products and services for better public health. Green Turtle. Take a ride on the Green Turtle Express today. Download the Green Turtle app, the future of mobile, saving lives today. The Ministry of Commerce, Planning and Infrastructure, and by West Bay Pharmacy, taking care of your health.
This is For the Record with Ort Connor.
Coming to you live from Radio Cayman Studio.
For the record.
For the record. For the record. Hear from your government officials, independents, and the opposition on issues that matter to you.
For the record.
Engage in an open dialogue between residents and lawmakers.
For the record.
For the record. For the record.
Informative, impartial, insightful.
This is your talk show.
1-800-534-8255. Your calls, your input. This is For the Record. And now, your host, Ort Connor.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, and welcome to For the Record, a land of soft, fresh breezes and verdant trees. So fair. Today is Wednesday, the 28th day of April 2021, and I hope and I trust that everyone had a restful, peaceful, enjoyable evening. Those of you who are on the roads of the Cayman Islands, again, we urge you to please be extremely cautious. If you're a pedestrian, a cyclist, or operating any type of motorized vehicle on the roads, ensure that you observe the rules of the road, and if you do so, then that life that you save may just be your own. If you're celebrating a birthday today, we want to wish you a happy birthday, or if you've celebrated one over the past few days, a belated happy birthday. For those of you who have lost loved ones, again, we want to extend our sincere condolences to you. We hope and we trust that your faith will help to carry you through these very challenging times, and that the memories of your loved ones will be a blessing. Those of you who are not feeling well and may be either hospitalized or resting at home, we want to wish for you a speedy recovery as well. So, folks, I want to thank you for allowing Radio Cayman and, by extension, For the Record, into your homes, into your vehicles, as you traverse the busy roads of the Cayman Islands, into your places of work, wherever that may be. As you know, For the Record is a show produced by the staff and management of Radio Cayman, and it is geared towards keeping you abreast of issues as they arise and play out on the local, regional, and international scene. I am your host, Ort Connor, and you're welcome to join me every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 7:30 a.m. until 10 a.m. During that period, our phone lines are open. The radio voice of DJ Lynn is in the control room waiting to take your calls. You can call us on our toll-free number provided courtesy of Flow. That toll-free number, 1-800-534-8255. You can also call us on 949-8037 and 949-6990. Email us at fortherecord, one word, fortherecord at candw.ky. WhatsApp us 925-3261, where you can leave us a text message or send us a voice note, the contents of which will be played during the course of the show. And of course, you can follow us on YouTube simply by subscribing to Radio Cayman live stream. No guests in the studio yet. I know on Monday, Dr. Macfield had to go to court, had a court appearance with a client, so he was unable. I'm hoping that he will be able to join me this morning here as well, because it is quite obvious and expected that until everything gets organized with the government, it may be some time before we actually are able to get any government officials on the show, as well as the opposition. Everyone really needs a break after the very hectic, frantic, and challenging campaigning period, despite the fact that many of them said that the campaigning period was too short. Can you imagine if it was longer? What would have happened? What we have been able to prove now, and what was said repeatedly many times before, was that we did not need that long period of time between the dissolution of the House and the general elections, even though it's something like a 3-month period that is allowed. We now know that as far as the register of electors is concerned, that we can fine-tune that process as well, because that was one of the reasons why we said that we had to have such a long time frame. Well, the events of March and April, showed us otherwise. So again, my point is that I don't believe that we need such a long period of time for campaigning. But we will wait and we see, and we hope that the opposition as well as the government will continue to use this platform as a way of informing the people of the Cayman Islands as to what is happening. Of course, most governments, new governments, are given what we call a honeymoon period. Whether or not that honeymoon period may be 100 days, 6 months, whatever. But we know that at some point in time that the honeymoon will be over. Again, I'm sure that there are those who anxiously await clearer positions that the government will take, not only clearer positions, but actually definitive actions that will be taken rather than generalizations. I'm sure now people are looking to hear specifics about what the government will be doing. I see much publicity is being given and it's being circulated about the Turks and Caicos' decision, their policy in relation to new work permit holders, and the fact that they have to show that they have been vaccinated. I'm sure that those persons who are circulating that, some of them feel that similar policies should be initiated in the Cayman Islands as well. And I'm sure that some people will support that, no doubt. There are those who also believe that instead of the holders, new work permit applicants or holders having to show proof that they have been vaccinated before they're allowed to work in the Cayman Islands, some people feel that Caymanians need to be certain that they have been vaccinated against unemployment in the Cayman Islands. And that vaccination would be employment for Caymanians. So instead of us thinking about new work permit holders into the Cayman Islands, the consideration needs to be given to full or as full as possible employment for Caymanians, especially in the era of COVID-19, where we see many workers being displaced from their usual occupations and not having any other. So we talk about retraining persons in various areas. So rather than concentrating on the vaccination of the new work permit holders, we need to immunize Caymanians against unemployment. So if you have any ideas as to how we get an employment vaccination for Caymanians, let's talk about that as well. Okay, so talking about vaccinations, it is important for us to continue to ensure that we are vaccinated from, and I'm talking now about COVID-19, not unemployment. I'm talking about COVID-19 now. And there is a statement that has been issued by the Chief Medical Officer, Dr. John Lee, and it starts off by him pointing out the statement, and it's being pointed out that vaccination will bring widespread benefits to our community. And there are several bullet points, starting with our most vulnerable will be protected from the infection as the virus cannot get a good hold. Also, individuals won't pass the virus to the most vulnerable in our population. Additionally, if you get infected, the vaccine offers high protection against moderate to severe disease, hospitalization, and death. Also, the chance of getting long COVID after even a mild infection, where symptoms persisting for months or years, will be hugely reduced. Studies from Israel have shown that protection from high vaccination will benefit children. Also, they've pointed out that if you plan on traveling abroad, then travel abroad will be safer. Vaccination will also allow travelers into the Cayman Islands to be safer. Also, large-scale outdoor gatherings will become a far safer prospect, and as the world improves, the duration of quarantine will reduce further and hopefully will no longer be required. And speaking about the crowds outdoors, I commented a few days ago about the swearing-in ceremony at our Legislative Assembly, and indoors and outdoors as well. We saw large crowds, and that was possible because of our successful vaccination program. But things are slowing down, whether or not people are taking it for granted or what, whether or not the vaccine hesitancy and all of the propaganda that has been spread about the vaccine, whether or not that really has taken hold in the Cayman Islands. We're not sure, but again, if we want to see the program continue and if we want to see more vaccines being supplied to the Cayman Islands, then we need to get those figures rolling again. The statement also points out that the vaccination program in the Cayman Islands started on the 7th of January 2021, and since then, Public Health and their teams have provided 65,497 jabs, given 35,429 people at least one dose, given a complete course of vaccination to 30,068 persons. So over 30,000 persons have had the complete course of vaccination. The statement goes on to point out that based on a population of 65,000, this means we have vaccinated 55% of our total population, one dose, and 67% of those over 16 years of age. Says through the Foreign and Commonwealth Commonwealth and Development Office of the United Kingdom, we have been provided around 90,000 vaccinations, which is enough to give 45,000 persons a course of 2 injections. Our last scheduled delivery was on the 7th of April, and the last batches expire at the end of June 2021, so at the end of June. Peak demand for the first dose of the vaccinations has declined considerably from its height in March, but Owen Roberts International Airport site will remain in operation for a few more weeks for our final drive. And if you want to check the schedule, you can do so by logging on to www.hsa.ky/public health/coronavirus, or you can also contact the Public Health Department. The statement also points out that we here in the Cayman Islands have good vaccination rates for people over 50 years of age, but for those between 16 and 50 years old, the rate is 44%. The country is looking forward to the borders opening and to make the population safe, and we need to have widespread coverage of all those who are eligible. I'm going to pause there for a second for us to take a commercial break. When we return, I will continue to share this statement with you from the Chief Medical Officer about vaccination process, because it is extremely important for us here in the Cayman Islands. Please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back shortly.
The Cayman Islands boasts of a long, colorful, and rich history. In tribute to our roots, Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands, is pleased to bring you the Historical Vignette Series, brought to you by Rotary Central. For more than 110 years, Rotary members have used their passion, energy, and intelligence to take action on sustainable projects. The Cayman Islands, He hath founded it upon the seas.
Pedro St. James holds historical significance for many unique things. The Great House is the location of which the proclamation to end slavery in the British West Indies was read publicly. Following the Slavery Abolition Act passed in 1833, the purchase or ownership of slaves was made illegal within the British Empire. On May 6, 1835, 2 years after the Abolition Act was passed in the United Kingdom, the proclamation was read by Captain Anthony Pact on orders of Lord Sligo, who was the then governor of Jamaica. At the time of the abolition, there were approximately 985 slaves on Grand Cayman who were set free.
Radio Cayman's Historical Vignettes was brought to you by Rotary Central. For more than 110 years, Rotary members have used their passion, energy, and intelligence to take action on sustainable projects.
We are telling you ahead of time, giving you the heads up to get ready. The Black Tie Affair with a circus twist. Step right up. The annual gala hosted by Rotary Central for the Alex Panton Foundation. Saturday, May 29th, Marriott Beach Hotel Ballroom. Step right up. Support the Alex Panton Foundation, dedicated to serving and preserving young people through vulnerable times, mental health intervention, treatment, guidance, preserving life. The ambience of a circus affair. Tickets are limited, tickets are precious. Get your tickets from Rotary Central members. Go online to Rotary Central and the Alex Panton Foundation Facebook pages. Rotary Central and the Alex Panton Foundation. Rotary opens opportunity.
Hi, I'm remodeling our bathroom. I have a few questions.
Sure.
What are some ideas to make my bathroom feel larger? How do I know if I'm picking the right vanity? How do I choose a new toilet or a new countertop? Also, the lighting is terrible. Can I put a window or a skylight? And do I really need an exhaust fan?
You've come to the right place. At Brand Source, we custom design kitchen and baths, and our talented design team can help answer your questions. Whether you're looking for a modern, functional family bathroom or a luxurious personal retreat, we'll help create that beautiful space that makes your home yours. And if you're in a rush for a new look and have a limited budget, our ready-to-install bathroom vanities, built with solid wood and countertops of the finest materials, are a quick and easy remodeling solution.
For the very best in custom-designed kitchens and baths, visit Brand Source Home Gallery on Dorsey Drive, Industrial Park, Cayman's Kitchen and Bath Center.
I grew up in a Canadian village with a general store that had just about anything you could ever need. That's what I'm reminded of every time I go into West Bay Pharmacy. It's not just because it's well stocked with necessities and oddities, but also because it's like our community hub. The staff treat customers like friends. Ron and the team of pharmacists have kept my family patched up and flu-free for years, and there are usually a few good laughs mixed in. They are truly taking care of my health and my family's health. West Bay Pharmacy is the very best of Caymankind.
Did you know that defective airbags can cause serious injury or even death if not repaired immediately? Right now, millions of vehicles around the world are under recall for faulty Takata airbags, and yours could be one of them. At Vamt Motors, our priority is to make sure the Toyota or Ford you drive is safe. So we are offering customers a free, fast and easy airbag swap out if your vehicle was manufactured in 2016 or earlier. Find out if you need to have new airbags installed by emailing your Ford or Toyota vehicle's VIN or vehicle identification number to service@vamtmotors.com or stop by Vamp's Service Center or call us at 949-2245. Don't risk it. Get the airbags in your Toyota or Ford checked for free at Vamt Motors on Walkers Road.
The Green Turtle app. So many options. One easy solution. All new subscription feature to automate your weekly, bi-weekly, or monthly top-up. Makes your life easier. Never lose a number again. Keep your children on budget. Yes! Make sure you can stay in touch with your loved one. Woohoo! No hassles. Green Turtle makes it easy. Take a ride on Cayman's Green Turtle Express. Download the Green Turtle app today. It just makes life easier. Remember, you can get mobile gift cards for Xbox, PlayStation, Apple, and Spotify delivered right to your phone. Playtime is now in real time.
System 1 loaded.
1-800-534-8255. What is on your mind when it comes to the government, independence, and the opposition? Issues that matter to you. 1-800-534-8255. Waiting to hear from you. For the Record.
This is For the Record with Ort Connor.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. No guests in the studio. I'm sharing with you the statement by the Dr. John Lee, Chief Medical Officer in the Cayman Islands, about the COVID-19 program. We know that the rate of vaccinations has dropped considerably. Dr. Lee has pointed out that the rates for persons over 50 years of age, that they are certainly up and are at a satisfactory level. But for those between 16 and 50 years of age, the rate is much lower, is at about 44%, and we need to get that rate up as well. About the safety of the vaccine, he points out that vaccination is very safe, and he says that although many people have side effects for a day or two, and often only after the second dose, the risk of getting seriously ill or dying from COVID-19 by far outweighs the minor side effects that some people suffer. Points out that in Brazil, during April 2021, more than 50% of intensive care beds were occupied by patients aged less than 40 years of age. And we know that variants of concern are affecting the young more than ever. Also points out that COVID-19 is raging around the globe, but the Cayman Islands has the precious resource of vaccination. That is true. There are still many jurisdictions, many countries struggling to get a hold of the vaccine. So he points out, he says that let us not waste the gift in the face of the world's gaze. People are desperate for vaccinations in countries where patients can't get enough oxygen and respiratory support. He again places emphasis on the fact that our last scheduled delivery of vaccines will expire at the end of June. Right? Last scheduled delivery. That will expire at the end of June. So you need to get your first dose by the 9th of June. He's again pleading with you to come forward to protect yourself, protect the community, and do the right thing. People, we need to do the right thing. Some are talking about opening up our borders to allow people to come in particular visitors. In order for us to do that safely, we have to get as many people vaccinated as possible. I think at some point in time, the Health Services Authority, the Ministry of Health, may want to consider conducting some type of survey to obtain some empirical evidence as to how many persons are likely to still opt to be vaccinated. Because why waste time, energy, and money if people have made up their minds that they're not going to be vaccinated? Another option may be like what is being done in other jurisdictions. I believe it is the state of West Virginia in the United States, where the governor there is offering government bonds at the value of $100 for younger people who get vaccinated and show proof of that they will be given $100 government bonds. We may want to look at some incentive here if it is necessary. But I believe that we have to do more now than just making a public appeal to people. We have to obtain empirical evidence as to whether or not we're likely to see a significant uptake in the vaccination process again, or whether or not we have to really start winding the program down, and those who are not vaccinated will just simply have to take their chances. And when we get to the other side of the fence, where if we see infection rates increase, like we've seen what has happened in Bermuda, then there's a possibility that there will be screams and clamoring not for the vaccine at that point in time, but for oxygen and for ICU beds as well. So if we really, really want to avoid the extreme situations that we have seen in other jurisdictions, people in the Cayman Islands need to do the right thing. But it is important for us to know what is going through their minds. What are they thinking about? Why is the hesitancy there? And we need to see if we can consider exactly what we can do to combat that as well. Okay, I think I have enough time. I can read this WhatsApp message. It says that I love your topic today about employment, and the first preference must be to full employment for Caymanians. It's happening right now at the Kimpton Hotel because there are positions available there and they don't want to give it to Caymanians and bringing people from outside for those jobs. Well, those are the things that we're talking about that we need to monitor at this point in time. If employers are holding on to positions for their expatriate employees who are off island and are planning on bringing them back. Of course, if they already have a work permit issued to them, then that may be a little bit difficult. But where the concentration has to be on new work permits that are being issued or that will be issued as well. Folks, top of the hour, 8 o'clock news. When we return, conversation will continue. If you don't call in, I have lots to share. I wonder how many of you know that this month, the month of April, 55 years since the introduction of telephone service in the Cayman Islands. 1966 was when it took place, April. We'll share some details with you about that. Please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back immediately after the 8 o'clock news.
Cayman, it's time to start paying less for your meat.
That's right. You can now find all your favorite fresh bulk cuts at new lower prices, but only at Priced Right.
We now have new everyday lower prices on oxtail, whole bone and ribeye, plant-based Beyond Beef, and so much more.
So whether you're buying wholesale cuts for your family, a large gathering, or for your business, you need to check out Priced Right's new lower meat prices.
Head to pricedright.ky for more info.
Live better for less at Priced Right.
The voice of the Cayman Islands.
89.9 FM in Grand Cayman and 93.9 FM in Caymanbrac and Little Cayman.
Silver wings shining in the sunlight.
Radio Cayman.
The 8 a.m. news is proudly sponsored by the Chamber of Commerce Pension Plan. For further information, please visit chamberpension.ky. The Cayman Islands Chamber of Commerce Pension Plan. We're here for you. We are a not-for-profit, member-centric plan with a democratically elected volunteer board of trustees representing all sectors of the Cayman Islands economy. We have an all-in expense ratio of less than 1%, over 20,000 members, and $490 million in assets under management. We were the first multi-employer pension plan approved by the regulator in the late 1990s, and today we are still strong, secure, and are here for our employees and employers alike. If you would like to join or require further information, visit chamberpension.ky. And for information as it happens, follow us on Facebook, LinkedIn, or Instagram. Email admin@pensions.ky or call 745-7630. The Cayman Islands Chamber of Commerce Pension Plan. We're here for you.
For today's biggest news.
Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands.
Government's 3 parliamentary secretaries received their instruments of office for their appointment on Tuesday from His Excellency the Governor Martin Roper at his office in the Government Administration Building. Parliamentary secretaries are appointed under the amended Cayman Islands Constitution. They are elected members of Parliament and provide assistance to cabinet ministers. The Honourable Catherine Ebanks-Wilkes, the Deputy Speaker of Parliament, received the document from the Governor to serve as the Parliamentary Secretary to the Minister for Financial Services, as well as the Minister for Education. Heather Bodden is the Parliamentary Secretary to the Minister for Tourism and Transport and the Minister for Community Affairs, Social Development. Isaac Rankin will serve as the Parliamentary Secretary for the Minister for Home Affairs and the Minister for Planning, Agriculture, Housing and Infrastructure. The Governor and the 3 parliamentary secretaries signed the instruments as required. And a pilot program at CUC for behind-the-meter energy storage is launched. Radio Cayman's April Cummings has more.
Behind-the-meter energy storage is a residential battery pilot project. CUC has partnered with Electric Power out of San Leandro, California, to deploy its PowerPod platform in 10 homes on Grand Cayman. The contract also calls for Electric to market, install, deploy, and manage these behind-the-meter systems as a kind of virtual power plant, with installations being carried out by local contractors. In order to meet the island's energy policy goals, CUC says its studies have shown that more front-of-meter and behind-the-meter battery storage will be necessary to integrate more solar and wind power into the equation, hence this pilot program, which it says will help test the effectiveness of the PowerPod 2 system in homes. CUC is hoping the program will help it discover best practices for installation and operations, understand costs, and demonstrate and measure multiple value propositions for both the residential user and Caribbean utilities. April Cummings, Radio Cayman News.
In regional news, dozens of Jamaicans recruited to work as cooks, servers, and housekeepers at a Montana ski resort for the ultra-rich have reached a $1 million settlement over allegations they were discriminated against and paid less than other employees to do the same work. About 90 Jamaican workers will receive checks ranging from less than $1,000 to $14,000 under the settlement with the Yellowstone Club and Georgia-based staffing firm Hospitality Staffing Solutions. The workers allege they did not receive tips or service charges included on restaurant and bar bills like other employees did while cooking for or serving club members, who included Microsoft founder Bill Gates, Berkshire Hathaway founder Warren Buffett, and Facebook co-founder Mark Zuckerberg. Neither the club nor the staffing agency admitted any liability under the settlement. Now with a check of international news, here's the BBC, which will take us out of the newscast. I'm Karsley Fuller from Radio Cayman's newsroom.
BBC News. Britain's Electoral Commission has launched a formal investigation into how Boris Johnson paid for the refurbishment of his Downing Street flat. The Commission said it had reasonable grounds to suspect that an offence had occurred. The Prime Minister insists he's paid for the $80,000 work himself. The pandemic is continuing its deadly surge in India, which has suffered another day of record fatalities and infections. More than 200,000 people are now confirmed dead, but the real total is thought to be much higher. Prosecutors in Bulgaria have drawn a link between a series of explosions at weapons facilities over the last decade with the presence of 6 Russian citizens across the country around the time of the incidents. They say evidence points to the Russian suspects trying to prevent military supplies reaching Georgia and Ukraine. They're liaising with the Czech authorities about potential links with a similar explosion at a munitions dump there in 2014. In the latest fallout from the scandal, Russia is expelling 4 diplomats from its 3 Baltic neighbours in a tit-for-tat move. 3 Slovak diplomats are also being expelled. The Italian Prime Minister Mario Draghi has welcomed the arrest in France of 7 former members of the ultra-left Red Brigades convicted in Italy of terrorism decades ago. Mr Draghi said the memory of their barbaric acts was alive in the Italian conscience. France's policy of offering ex-brigade members protection from extradition on condition they renounce violence and were not accused of bloodshed has been a source of tension between Rome and Paris. Hong Kong's legislature has passed a sweeping immigration reform bill which allows the authorities to ban anyone from entering and exiting the territory with no opportunity to appeal. BBC News.
The 8 a.m. news is proudly sponsored by the Chamber of Commerce Pension Plan. For further information, please visit chamberpension.ky.
The Cayman Islands Chamber of Commerce Pension Plan. We're here for you. Are you aware of the performance of your pension plan? The Chamber of Commerce Pension Plan provides quarterly fund fact sheets for our members to stay informed with the plan's performance. For the year ended August 31st, various life cycle funds provided returns between 9.2% and 16.5%, and our all-in expense ratio is currently the lowest it's ever been, a record low at 0.72%. Visit chamberpension.ky to review our fund fact sheets. You can see the performance as far back as 10 years. Remember that pensions are a longer-term investment strategy. Focus on the long term rather than the short-term returns. The Cayman Islands Chamber of Commerce Pension Plan continues to perform for you.
Stay in touch with Radio Cayman for the latest in news and information.
Follow Radio Cayman on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Download the Radio Cayman app or log on to our website, www.radiocayman.gov.ky.
Radio Cayman, your voice, your choice, your radio.
With Logic, you get more things you do want, like faster fiber internet, more TV, entertainment, and better customer service. And you get less of the things you don't want, like waiting, boredom, and disappointment. More of the good, less of the bad. It just makes sense. Or should I say, it's logical. See what I did there? Call us or go to logic.ky to find out how you could be getting way more of what's good.
We are telling you ahead of time, giving you the heads up to get ready. The Black Tie Affair with a circus twist. Step right up. The annual gala hosted by Rotary Central for the Alex Panton Foundation. Saturday, May 29th, Marriott Beach Hotel Ballroom. Step right up. Support the Alex Panton Foundation, dedicated to serving and preserving young people through vulnerable times, mental health intervention, treatment, guidance, preserving life. The ambience of a circus affair. Tickets are limited, tickets are precious. Get your tickets from Rotary Central members. Go online to Rotary Central and the Alex Panton Foundation Facebook pages. Rotary Central and the Alex Panton Foundation. Rotary opens opportunity.
The 8:10 a.m. Weather Report, Monday through Friday, is proudly sponsored by Pan American International Insurance Corporation. Pan American International Insurance Corporation, meeting the life, accident, and health insurance needs of individuals and businesses to ensure financial security and peace of mind. For more information, call 949-8304 or visit www.palig.com. That's PALIG.com.
For over 100 years, more than 5.8 million people across the Americas and the Caribbean have placed their trust in Pan American Life Insurance Group. We have delivered on our promise and have proven that we're more than just an insurance company, we're family. To learn more about our first-in-class group health and employee benefit solutions, please visit Pan American Life Insurance Company of the Cayman Islands at Unit 221, Cannon Place East, North Sound Road, Grand Cayman, or contact us at 949-8304. You can also visit us online at www.palig.com. Pan American Life, people you can trust for life.
For additional weather information, visit www.weather.gov.ky. As well, stay in touch with Radio Cayman for the latest in news and information. Radio Cayman, your voice, your choice, your radio.
The 8:10 a.m. Weather Report, Monday through Friday, is proudly sponsored by Pan American International Insurance Corporation. Pan American International Insurance Corporation, meeting the life, accident, and health insurance needs of individuals and businesses to ensure financial security and peace of mind. For more information, call 949-8304 or visit www.palig.com. That's PALIG.com.
For over 100 years, more than 5.8 million people across the Americas and the Caribbean have placed their trust in Pan American Life Insurance Group. We have delivered on our promise and have proven that we are more than an insurance company. We are family. To learn more about our first-in-class individual and group life, disability and accident solutions, please visit Pan American International Insurance Corporation at Unit 221, Cannon Place East, North Song Road, Grand Cayman, or contact us at 949-8304 and visit us online at www.palig.com. Pan American Life, people you can trust for life.
During these unprecedented times, Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands, is pleased to bring you the Cayman Strong Series. The Cayman Strong Series is brought to you by OnCourse Cayman. Visit oncourse.ky to view a full list of wellness services and their qualified team. OnCourse Cayman, health, wellness, and happiness.
Achieving your goals is a very rewarding feeling, but at times can feel very frustrating, especially if and when we miss our target. As you approach your goals in life, set yourself up for success.
When setting your goals, tell a friend. Having an accountability partner is often helpful in achieving your goals. Let your parents and partner know what you are planning or doing. Sharing with others also helps us to develop the ideas and our vision. Writing down your goals can help to solidify them for you and help you to stay accountable.
Change your thinking and change your life.
Radio Cayman's Cayman Strong Series was brought to you by OnCourse Cayman. Visit oncourse.ky to view a full list of wellness services and their qualified team. OnCourse Cayman, health, wellness, and happiness.
These days, feelings of loneliness, anxiety, stress, and depression can be overwhelming. Just know you are not alone. OnCourse Cayman offers private mental health services for children, teens, adults, and groups. Visit oncourse.ky to view a full list of wellness services and their qualified team. OnCourse Cayman, health, wellness, and happiness.
The traffic report is brought to you by Subway. Planning a meeting, event, or office celebration? Visit subway.ky to place your catering order today. The traffic report is brought to you by Subway. Planning a meeting, event, or office celebration? Visit subway.ky to place your catering order today.
Things just got a bit hotter on island. Come in today and order the new spicy Korean subs at Subway. They're sweet, spicy, and especially satisfying. Stop in and try the pulled pork with spicy Korean sauce, or the chicken with spicy Korean sauce. And you can message WhatsApp at 929-4658. Order online or use Let's Eat or the Bento app. The spicy Korean subs at Subway in 2 flavors, extra saucy and extra spicy. Subway, eat fresh.
I've been looking forward to this barbecue all week.
Don't forget to put out my potato salad now.
How could we ever forget that?
We got everything ready?
Just need the chicken and the ribs. Honey, you have those ready?
Here you go.
Why are they still frozen?
'Cause they were in the freezer.
With no deductible on your home for non-catastrophic events, we're like a barbecue where you didn't forget to defrost the meat.
Are we vegetarians now?
Just eat the rice.
CG Britke. Insurance, health, pensions, life. Good like that.
That thing we've been saying for 64 years? Ignore it. Eat the KFC wings, drink the KFC gravy, fill up on fries. Just please forget the thing we normally suggest. You know, that thing you used to do with your tongue after finishing a delicious piece of our KFC chicken. We get it. It's not easy. There's a reason why it's been our slogan for over half a century. But the world's drastically changed of late, and as soon as we can embrace the change, the sooner we can all get back to doing what we do best. KFC. It's good.
For the Record with Ort Connor.
Initiating system. For information that matters. For the Record with Ort Connor. Continues right now on Radio Cayman.
Good morning, and welcome back to For the Record. I want to remind you that our phone lines are open. No guests in the studio, so you may want to take advantage of the opportunity to call in, or maybe everything is nice and rosy for you now. You have gotten your vaccinations. Everything is good. So there may not be any need for you to call in, but you may want to call in and talk about the good things as well. It doesn't necessarily have to be, something that is gloomy or bad news. Give us a call here, toll-free number, 1-800-534-8255. You can also call us on our 949-8037 and 949-6990. Email us at fortherecord, one word, fortherecord at candw.ky. WhatsApp us, 925-3261, where you can send us a text message or leave us a voice note. And we may play the voice note on the air as well. Lots of things to talk about. We have a caller, okay? Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Morning, OC. How you doing, brother?
Good morning. I'm fine. How are you?
Oh, I'm waiting on the political promises.
Well, you got to give them some time. They have to have a honeymoon period and all of that first. Just like a wedding. You go on honeymoon, so you have to give people some time to get things together.
Yeah, well, I see they got the cabinet set up now. So, the Honorable Julie, she promised the weed, but she not got the agriculture. So, I don't want to know if she gonna work with Brother Jay to she bring the motion, he second it or something, because we need to get it started, because it ain't going away.
What exactly was said during the campaign in that regard, on your end? What was said about it?
Well, I came out straight all the way for it, right? And at the very last meeting, when the former Premier, Mr. Alden, and all them was up here, the Honorable Minister for Education, Ms. O'Connor, she jumped on the ganja clean and said she would support medical marijuana, fully support it. And I wanted recreation and medical, but let's start somewhere.
Okay.
Now, you remember when I had the petition going around, she wouldn't have a meeting with me. Most had a meeting with me, but she didn't show up.
Okay.
Well, now that I have run, and I run on a platform, and I happen to get 106 votes, plus mine is 107. So, obviously, I see her neglecting the people now. Because, remember, she came on board. Right? So, I will be holding them. It don't know about political promises now. Because I not, like I told him, when David came and ran, he lost. He went back, Ran came on. Mr. Rudder done the same thing. Well, Elvis McKeever is in Watering Place Park, and I ain't going nowhere. Yeah.
Have a question for you, Mr. McKeever. Do you on second thought now? You got 137 votes. On second thought, do you believe that had you expanded your platform to the extent that your manifesto not only included legalization of ganja, but addressing other aspects of other issues that we face in the Cayman Islands. Do you think that you would have garnered more votes had you expanded your manifesto?
Well, OC, I expanded my look. I talked about teachers. Okay, we talked about we want to encourage young Caymanians to be teachers. Okay, I said if you want to encourage them to be teachers, give them 100% free scholarship. Right?
Okay.
Things like that I talked about. I talked about casinos. And I talked about where the money would go for schooling, for care for the elderly people. I talked about a marina up to the end of the island. You know, I talked about the traffic issues. I talked about a lot of things. You know, you understand? But the only thing that sticks out is about the marijuana, because you know, it's not about who want to touch that. And another thing, now, OC, you're the Caymanian like myself, and you know this. One of the things I touched about was the police. We have people that come in here, stay 4 or 5 years, get 12 weeks training, and you put them out there. It's not working. That's why our police system is the way it is. You need to be trained at least 6 months in a top police academy somewhere in the world. Okay?
And we always used to go to Barbados before. Barbados had a nice training program over there. I believe it may still be in place.
Yeah, it is. And OC, I talk to young people from the Georgetown days. Do you know we not get no more young Caymanians in the police force? For the simple reason is this. And I mean, I get this from the youth. They say, Mr. Elvis, I would love to join the police force, but can you imagine now, me and my little friend that I used to play football with, and I go lock him up with one little spliff and ruin his career, anything like that? And because the young people see that the world is changing.
Yep.
And you can take this from Elvis. If they legalize marijuana, that the young Caymanian not going to arrest the own young Caymanian for this stick, you will see a lot more young, intelligent Caymanians joining the police force. When I say, I mean to go into the forensic part of policing. I talk about smart people, not just somebody chasing down for a ticket and harassing you for urine tests and all that. You got to rise about them things, man.
I would encourage you, take when you get an opportunity, take a look at what is happening in the British Virgin Islands, because they brought some legislation in relation to the use of marijuana. And the governor over there has refused to sign it into law. And the reason that they're given for that has something to do with some international agreements that they're signed up to in relation with the UK. So it is also good for us to look at what's happening in other overseas territories to see exactly what the UK's position will be on it before we go too far with it and we find that it is stalled somewhere. Of course, there are those who feel that in the British Virgin Islands that the United Kingdom government is posing themselves to put them under administration because they now have a commission of inquiry over there going on as well. But if you get an opportunity, read what's happening over there so to ensure that we don't find that the Cayman Islands, if we do go down that road to some legalization, not just the medical part, but for the use, decriminalization or whatever, that we don't fall into the same trap. Elvis, I want to thank you very much for that. Oh, by the way, some of our cycling buddies have been coming up to the Bracken doing some cycling up there as well, so I hope you're treating them well. I plan on coming up there sometime myself.
Yeah, man, I see the guys on the road up here training, man.
Yes, good. So, all right, take care.
Thank you.
Thanks for calling in as well. DJ Lynn, we have another caller on hold. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
good morning, Mr. O'Connor.
Good morning, sir. How are you?
Okay. Just needed to ask you what the rules were to be a member of Parliament. I'll listen over the radio.
So before you go, you want me to lay out all of the qualifications?
Yes, please.
Okay. I'll if time allows, I'll do that because it's pretty lengthy. I'll try to paraphrase as much of it as possible, from our Constitution, at least the salient portions of it as well. I will try to do that for you. Thank you very much for that. Okay. Okay. One caller and a break. Which one first, the break or the caller? We take the caller. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Yes, sir.
Hey, morning. How art thou?
I don't know after that deliberation on them. I don't know why we beating this dead horse again. The issue or the question of compassionate marijuana in the Cayman Islands has been asked and answered. And as a mother and grandmother, no, I don't want my children arrested for one swig and their life changed negatively forever. But you know how that don't happen is if they don't indulge. Mm-hmm. It's the indulgence factor. And if they're willing to indulge in what is not necessary for life, because we've asked and answered the compassionate side of it, if they are willing to indulge in what's not necessary for life, but is against the law. I don't know why we get to these poor little things and only ones. It's against the law, and you don't need it to live. And if you do need it to live, that has been answered. I don't want us, and they won't talk about anything else, I don't want us to get to the place, and my good friend, not the one that was just talking on the radio, but my good friend from the BRAC, I want him to call back now. You know, I don't want this country to get to, we were in Jamaica, they got 2 ganja plants, Fairview family. I don't want to see my country decorated with ganja plants in the yard with the babies rolling and the uncles coming and the old criminals coming and getting theirs from over the fence. I don't want that. And I'm a Caymanian. I don't want that. Yes, I want jobs for people. Yes, I want to have the use of compassionate marijuana. We don't know when we're going to need it for ourselves.
Yeah.
But that has been asked and answered. Thank God, Mr. Dennis.
And caller, the other thing also is that we have seen countries that have decriminalized it, but we really don't know what the long-term effect of that is yet, because we haven't gone down that road of 10, 20, 30 years down the road, what actually is going to happen to society at that point in time. We really don't know. We're heading down a dark tunnel, and we really don't know what is at the end of it, by having full-scale legalization.
These are just people who are deviant. And they want to do what they want to do, and okay, you take that chance, you make the choice, you take the chance, but then there are consequences for your actions. And don't come lean up on me now with that guilt trip about, because if that's what you want to do, it's against the law. Show me one person in Cayman, just talking about Cayman, in particular Georgetown. Georgetown is all of you. One person is Georgetown that needs that to literally breathe, who cannot at this instant moment have the intervention of their health practitioner. And I get to understand that Cineco takes care of all the doctor's needs, the doctor prescribed needs.
Okay.
I don't know about that part of it, but I get to understand. You get it, because I know a lady who gets it. She gets it. So we don't need that. Let us get off of that chant. Let us think of a better Caymanian. And the person who is campaigning for it, listen to his huge, I want him, because I know he's still listening, I want him to look at himself in the mirror and consider his huge intelligence. And to run with that, that's God's gift to him. He didn't give it to me. I would want just 10% of what he got. Consider, young man, I know you run up and down on the road in a white Hanes brief out there by Grandma's house. Look here, you are. And he knows it too, you know. He will challenge you because he knows not very many people that can beat him when it comes to intelligence and just talk.
Mm-hmm.
Look at yourself, young man. You are better than this. You are better than this. Yeah, if we had the national vote, you might have get in and came on back too because of your intelligence, not because of your ganja platform. Bye.
Thank you very much for that, caller. We're going to take a commercial break. When we return, I have several WhatsApp messages to share, and we welcome more of your calls, so please stay tuned. For the record, we'll be back shortly.
The Green Turtle app. So many options. One easy solution. All new subscription feature to automate your weekly, bi-weekly, or monthly top-up. Makes your life easier. Never lose a number again. Keep your children on budget. Yes! Make sure you can stay in touch with your loved one. Woohoo! No hassles. Green Turtle makes it easy. Take a ride on Cayman's Green Turtle Express. Download the Green Turtle app today. It just makes life easier. Remember, you can get mobile gift cards for Xbox, PlayStation, Apple, and Spotify delivered right to your phone. Playtime is now in real time.
I grew up in a Canadian village with a general store that had just about anything you could ever need. That's what I'm reminded of every time I go into West Bay Pharmacy. It's not just because it's well stocked with necessities and oddities, but also because it's like our community hub. The staff treat customers like friends. Ron and the team of pharmacists have kept my family patched up and flu-free for years, and there are usually a few good laughs mixed in. They are truly taking care of my health and my family's health. West Bay Pharmacy is the very best of Cayman kind.
It's time to buy smart. It's time to buy Ropers. Find everything for your home and kitchen at low prices. Ropers. Appliances, dishware, bulk foods, and so much more. With huge savings. Ropers is stocked for your hurricane supplies. Don't cut back on your needs. Cut back on your spending with Ropers. Your neighborhood store. Value. Integrity. Ropers Enterprises. 122 Industrial Way. Call 949-2511. Clean up your spending with Ropers. Ropers, providing products and services for better public health.
There's nothing like the smell of freshly baked bread. The warm, inviting aroma, the fresh and natural taste, just like homemade. 100% all-natural, additive-free bread.
Enjoy fresh and natural tasting bread from the iconic Caribbean Bakery. Always delivered fresh to your favorite supermarkets island-wide. Forget the imported frozen and thawed and enjoy our freshly baked selection of quality breads and pastries.
Try our classic white and wheat sandwich breads, coconut and raisin breads, hamburger and hot dog buns, and a great selection of pastries. Feed your family fresh with Caribbean Bakery.
System 1 loaded. 1-800-534-8255. What is on your mind when it comes to the government, independence, and the opposition? Issues that matter to you. 1-800-534-8255. Waiting to hear from you. For the Record.
This is For the Record with Ort Connor.
Good morning. Welcome back to For the Record. No guests in the studio, so the phone lines are open. WhatsApp messages. 925-3261. Email us at For the Record. One word, For the Record, at CANDW.KY. Toll-free number 1-800-534-8255 as well. Before we grab the caller, let's accommodate some of our WhatsApp messages. And this person saying that also need to stop the stipend that has... that government has started, that stipend should stop now, and people should be able to go back to work or should be able to return to work in another field if they can. They said, look at the staff in supermarkets. They are sure that some of these that were in the tourism field can easily do some of those jobs in the supermarkets as well. and they're questioning whether or not now we will see an increase in the stipend as opposed to a decrease or elimination of it altogether, and whether we will see an increase in the roles at the needs assessment unit as well. Let's go to the phone lines. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning.
Good morning. How are you doing, my friend?
Yeah, I had Mr. Osi. Mr. Osi calling now about the harvesting, herb topic. Right? You see the taboo in the avoiding the main part of it. Error, right? You need to compromise it. You see people ignoring the recreation of it and specimen and urine tests. Right? That's wrong. Say for instance now, right? Listen, OCI was about the horizon now. The state of Oregon, they decriminalize narcotics now. Herb not lethal now. You know what I'm saying? That's nothing, nada. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know why you go along with it like a political, especially like you see the education, the intellectual is fundamental, right? They always doing that in the dump too. But the dump, you start to see deliver. You know she go right? So I don't know why the herbs now. To some people, it may be annoying. Different as OC, after smoking more dangerous now, tobacco, that can't smoke. So you see where I come from? You buy and drink it. See? So I hope they get this thing sorted out with the decriminalization of it. Because OC, I tell you, I spent $150 for a draw, $500 for the blueberry Rizla, $500 for the hair, and $50 for the residue on my scissors. You see what I'm saying? So they need to reimburse the money. Right? That's impossible. But then they free up the herbs. It's simple. Right? Let's get that stamp, see, deliver, and they pave from. Let's all see how good day.
You too, my friend. Take care. One of our listeners has written and said the previous lady caller is so right. Says, leave the ganja thing alone. We have enough youths around here whose brains get messed up by the weed. We have another caller. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Hey, good morning, OC.
Good morning. How are you, my friend?
I am very thankful and privileged to be alive and in what I believe to be in good health. I too believe that this thing about weed is I'm so damn sick and tired of hearing about it. It's not even funny. This country got a lot more important issues than weed. Okay, we don't need another bunch of zombies running up and down around here. Okay, I police these streets for years. I see what it do to people. Okay, so I'm getting sick and tired of hearing about this weed business. What this country got to focus on is those people who are out there that refuse to go and get the vaccine. What the government got to do is say, hey, look, and this is my views, the government of this day has got to say, as of June 30th, those that are not vaccinated will stand the risk of getting infected. We're going to open this country back up, and it's going to be business as usual. Done and dusted. Because let me ask you something. If you know that you can go and get an injection to avoid laying in a hospital bed for weeks and to not be incubated and not risk life, and you refuse to do that, who are you going to blame? Who are you going to blame? You're going to blame the government? I think the previous government did an exemplary job on their bringing in the vaccine so quick. We were very privileged in this country, right? I believe Jamaica, I understand Jamaica has vaccinated 154, or let me just rephrase. I understand that they have did 154,000 shots. Because people in Cayman understand how privileged we are. 154,000, what they got, 2-point-something million people?
Yeah, close to three. Yeah.
Close to 3 million people. That's not even a drop in the bucket. Right? They're not even nowhere near the herd immunity. Now, by God, I wish they would have heard the music today. I mean, I wouldn't mind taking a trip across there. But the reality of it is, OC, that these Cayman people go understand that in order, you see, they want a cake, and as those people say they want a cake and they want it too. Can't expect for the government to continue to support the coffers or to make us a vibrant economy if we don't have the vibrant and robust industries in place. So if you, the people, are not taking the vaccine, it's going to cause the country to go to a standstill. I say to the government, after the 30th of June, open it up. Those who get the virus, wish them well. And those who don't make it, we got crematory here now, and we got plenty. They just open the new cemetery down West Bay. We got plenty of place we can put them. That's simple. Harsh. Done. Thank you, OC.
Okay, thank you very much for that. And one of the things that the government may want to consider as well, if we do open up in June and we see where in other jurisdictions that cruise tourism is likely to or scheduled to be open up in June, whether or not that will happen depends a lot on the outcome of the whether or not the vaccination process is successful as well. But maybe another thing to consider, those Caymanians who have not been vaccinated, if they leave the jurisdiction, when they return, they will have to be quarantined again. There must be some penalty in place, or not necessarily a penalty, but some measures put in place to protect others from those who fail to get vaccinated. But I do believe that social media has played a huge role in the anti-vaxxers here in the Cayman Islands and with vaccine hesitancy. Social media, because believe you me, when you look at some of the things that people see on social media and they buy it, they swallow it hook, line, and sinker, then you need not wonder why we have so much vaccine hesitancy in the Cayman Islands. We have callers on hold. We are going to take a quick commercial break. When we return, we will entertain your calls, so please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back shortly.
Did you know that defective airbags can cause serious injury or even death if not repaired immediately? Right now, millions of vehicles around the world are under recall for faulty Takata airbags, and yours could be one of them. At Vamt Motors, our priority is to make sure the Toyota or Ford you drive is safe. So we are offering customers a free, fast, and easy airbag swap out if your vehicle was manufactured in 2016 or earlier. Find out if you need to have new airbags installed by emailing your Ford or Toyota vehicle's VIN or vehicle identification number to service@vamtmotors.com or stop by Vamp's Service Center or call us at 949-2245. Don't risk it. Get the airbags in your Toyota or Ford checked for free at Vamp Motors on Walkers Road.
There's nothing like the smell of freshly baked bread. The warm, inviting aroma, the fresh and natural taste. Just like homemade. 100% all-natural, additive-free bread.
Enjoy fresh and natural tasting bread from the iconic Caribbean Bakery. Always delivered fresh to your favorite supermarkets island-wide. Forget the imported frozen and thawed and enjoy our freshly baked selection of quality breads and pastries.
Try our classic white and wheat sandwich breads, coconut and raisin breads, hamburger and hot dog buns, and a great selection of pastries. Feed your family fresh with Caribbean Bakery.
Honey, our fridge has stopped working again. Everything in the freezer is melting. We need to get this repaired right away. I'm calling Brand Source Service.
When you need the very best appliance service, call Brand Source Service at 623-5000. Offering service and installation of all brands and models of appliances. Brand Source Service is Cayman's source for appliance parts and repairs with qualified and experienced technicians and the island's largest stock of appliance parts. Brand Source Service will have your repair completed in a flash. So, whatever the problem is, call the experts at 623-5000. Brand Source Service, Dorsey Drive, Industrial Park. Telephone 623-5000.
The Lions Club of Grand Cayman, in partnership with the Lions Club of Cayman Brac, will be hosting a prostate and colon cancer educational awareness meeting this Friday, 30th April at 7 p.m. at the Brac Reef Resort Meeting Room. The guest speaker for the evening will be Dr. Gurish of the Faith Hospital. Royal Medical and Wellness Center will also be present to offer PSA testing. Come out and be informed.
Hey Cayman, this is your reigning Miss Cayman Islands Universe, Mariah Tibbetts. I'll be representing our beautiful islands at Miss Universe in Hollywood, Florida on May 16th. This year we have the opportunity to vote for one contestant to make it into the top 21. Vote for me by downloading the Miss Universe app on your phone and click on Cayman Islands to cast your vote. Thank you so much for all your support.
For the Record with Ort Connor.
Initiating system. For information that matters. For the Record with Ort Connor. Continues right now on Radio Cayman.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. We're going straight to the phone lines as promised. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning, Mr. Osi.
Good morning. How are you, sir?
Morning. Mario Ebanks here. How are you doing, my friend?
I'm fine.
Good.
Again, congratulations on your big run in West Bay. Came very, very close, and I know that you said if they didn't choose you this time around, that was it for you. But I would say to you, you may want to reconsider your position on that. You came very, very close. That speaks volumes. That means that the gap that you have to bridge the next time around isn't that wide.
Thank you. You're a real good advisor and a motivator. I want to also, before I say what I called about, I want to thank those 431 voters who voted for me in West Bay West on 14th of April. Thank you all very much, and so many other people who were there for us during that journey. That was a very, very brutal journey, but it was very rewarding as well. So I want to thank those. And those 27 voters who didn't vote for me and caused the result, they certainly wrote the next chapter of my life. So whatever that will be.
It's only 14 really when you think of it. You only needed 14 out of those 27.
That's right, only 14. If 14 of those had changed, had gone the other way, it would have been a different story. But still, whether it was 27 or 14 or 1, it's still, the result is the same. And like I said, they have written the next chapter of my life. So we'll see where it goes beyond. But I thank you for your encouragement and all those people who were there. And we're going to do something and say more about that later on. Okay. But a great committee and great people, prayer warriors and others, and also the media. And also thank you for engaging and helping people to get out their message as well and being a good moderator. So thank you so much as well.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Just on a couple of quick things. Yeah, the vaccine program. I think I heard previous callers talking about that, and definitely there's people in the country, including those on work permits and some of the churches, that are really not being very helpful with this whole effort. I mean, we've had vaccines around for centuries, and we've had the polio vaccine, we've had other vaccines around, and I think people need to get this one done, and let's see if we can help to reset the global button to get us back on track, but hopefully build us back stronger and not go back to some of the issues that we've dealt with before COVID.
Yes.
I just want to say also on the whole issue of ganja, I want to thank that lady who called a few callers ago and this morning. I know her name. I don't want to call her name, but
and she's experiencing it firsthand. So she's speaking from experience.
Yes, exactly. I want to thank her for her bold and courageous words this morning and very wise words this morning. And the issue that I've always had, in addition to all the other issue about ganja being a starter drug, people start off with that and then they go on to other things. The other issue I have with ganja as an HR professional in the workplace is that you have to look at the impairment of people. People's judgment and people's minds are altered and their faculties are altered. And you have the issue of impairment, IMPAIRMENT. People's minds are altered, and you don't know what could happen. And when you get to issues of liability and whatnot in the workplace, we've got to look at that as well. So this whole thing about no weed, no vote, I would ask my friend Brac to think about that seriously, and others. I mean, there's some in Grand Cayman, some in West Bay West, exactly, who didn't come out to vote because they also didn't hear me or other people talk about that issue. I didn't, So I think we got to look at that. As a small country, we got to be careful. But like I say, for an issue of impairment is one that I'm very concerned about. I want to also say very briefly to you this morning that I've spoken to the new government, or a couple of them, and I'm also calling now on the Minister of Labour, the new Minister of Labour, Mr. Saunders, to look at the labour law and to look at the issue of retirement, the retirement age, which is not yet set in the labour law or in this country. But there are people who are being pushed out of their jobs at age 60 because they assume now that age 60 is retirement age for the private sector. Mm-hmm. And in the public sector, as you know, it's now age 65.
Right.
And I think it should be amended to 65, and that's an easy amendment to the labour law. If he looks at the Labour Relations Act or Labour Relations Bill of 2015, it's all right there. It's all already laid out for him, so it makes it very easy. And I would like to encourage that, because there's some people who are being pushed out of their jobs at age 60, and they're willing to work, they're able to work, they need to work.
And some need to work, yes, yeah.
Of course, and they still have loans and whatnot and responsibilities, and so no reason why they should be pushed out at age 60, whereas other countries have retirement age as late as age 70, old as age 73, which is really not old, So, and the final point I want to make sure is that repatriation flights. When His Excellency the Governor was in charge of repatriation flights earlier last year in COVID, he was able to do a lot of flights to different countries to get people off of the island who were not working and whatnot. And we have a number of stranded individuals in the Cayman Islands who are not working. They can't get a change of job. Their income is getting down to very low, but they can't get home. And I would like to, whoever in the government is responsible for repatriation, to look at that seriously, because there are places, even nearby in this region, that people can't get home and they need to get home. So I want to encourage the government to look at that and to see if we can get some of those people back home and off of our books and off of being liabilities here. Because if they don't have any money and they get desperate, they may get involved in crime and robberies and burglaries, which we don't need. So I just want to leave that with you this morning. So Thanks for your time.
Thank you very much. Thank you. We have several calls queued up. We're going to try to see if we can take at least two more before we go to our 9 o'clock news, headline news at 9 o'clock, because we're likely to have guests in the studio after that as well. So callers, if you can be as brief as possible, we will try to entertain as many of you as we can. Go ahead. Good morning, caller.
Not much time, but I have first-hand experience with people being functional with the herb. It's the most simplest way we can probably put this is not everyone can eat peanuts. I see people have negative reactions if they do eat peanuts. Mm-hmm. And some people, they're not supposed to engage with the herbs, in particular with legalization. We want to look at that like how we look at alcohol. They can't touch that until they're a certain age. We keep it as well for medicinal, where people use it for cancer and stuff. And we can have the industry where we can earn funds from it instead of taking funds and imprisoning our young people for it. Mm-hmm. So we got to change the $50,000 a year where we imprison our young people versus making $50,000 a year from it that can benefit some individual. I think that's probably my most sage point for the morning. I wish I had more time.
Okay, thank you very much for that. Very useful what you said, and as well. I want to thank you. Let's grab another caller. Good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Yeah, good morning, Mr. Howard. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning. Good morning.
I want to second that all those callers are calling about the ganja. I mean, Cayman we have benefited. We have seen how many lives have been lost at sea. Just our Caymanians that have been lost at sea, trying to go to get something that is illegal to bring back to help destroy. Mm. I mean, right now, we do not even know what the age groups are that are smoking ganja at this age. And we know medically it has been destroying people's brain. We can see how many zombies we got walking up and down the whole Cayman Islands. Do we need any more of those? Because if they smoke any more, I mean, I've experienced firsthand here. If they smoke any more than what they're smoking now, they would be sleeping up in bed with it and subject to catch a fire themselves smoking it while in bed. So we don't need to legalize here. We need to educate our children that they need to earn an honest dollar. And there's plenty of ways of making a dollar. We got plenty of farming that can be done. That in the Cayman Islands, it doesn't have to be ganja. And we got people that can farm food that everybody has to use on a daily basis to survive. So instead of encouraging them about ganja, teach them how to farm, how to make a living, to feed themselves, and not teach them how to destroy themselves.
True.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, caller. Looks like we can squeeze in one last caller. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Yeah, good morning. We'll see how you're doing today.
Good morning. I'm fine. How are you?
Yeah, quick thing. Alcohol, is alcohol legal?
Yes, it's legal when consumed in a legal fashion. You can't drive and drink, operate, but it is legal, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Well, that is legal. And I was a police officer, worked with the traffic department for a long time. And I want to say this, that I have never met someone in an accident who had used marijuana. Most of the, now I'm not saying they didn't, but I'm saying that most of the accidents that I have been involved in investigating was all alcohol, and that's legal. So, and all over the world, mostly they're using marijuana for medical purposes. They got people that live off of that to survive.
And it's allowed, it's done here as well.
Yep. I have known people right here in the island that were suffering a lot with asthma, went to all kind of doctors, even in the United States, and they couldn't get any help until they used the marijuana tea.
Mm-hmm.
And from that day, that person has never, ever been sick yet with that. And another thing,
very quickly,
when we are talking about marijuana, I've observed people that use marijuana, they laugh a lot. People say that they're violent. That's not true. That ain't true. And they eat a lot and they sleep a lot.
Mm-hmm.
That's the key thing that I observe with them. And I want to leave this with you all and the whole people that is listening to me. Bob Marley used, I have his book, he smoked marijuana every day of his life. And he didn't get no accident. And he and take his music for it.
We're not sure, what happened to people when, personally in relation to that. Thank you very much, caller. But I'm not sure whether or not there's a fair comparison between alcohol and marijuana and the effects of both. And we know certainly that even the consumption of alcohol is not only a detriment to good health, but also we see many other effects of it as well. Folks, please stay tuned. Top of the hour, headline news at 9 o'clock. When we return, we will have some guests in the studio, so please stay tuned.
Radio Cayman,
the voice,
the heart, the soul of the Cayman Islands.
Today's biggest news.
Radio Cayman, your voice, your choice.
Local, regional, international. This is Headlines from Radio Cayman's newsroom.
Today's biggest news.
Government reported the results of 348 COVID-19 tests on Tuesday. All came back negative. The total number of COVID-19 vaccines administered locally to date is 65,497. India has seen more COVID cases in the last 7 days than any other country. A ferocious second wave has seen the official death toll surpass 200,000, but experts believe the actual number may be higher. People have died waiting for beds as oxygen supplies run low and hospitals crumble under the strain. From today, all adults over 18 can sign up for COVID vaccines. Only 1.6% of India's population is fully vaccinated. U.S. President Joe Biden says he intends to send vaccines to India. And Spain has said it hopes to open up to overseas travelers from June as plans for an EU-wide digital certificate goes before the European Parliament. The EU has been working on a digital pass in time for the summer holidays. It would cover anyone who is either vaccinated against COVID-19, has a negative test, or recently recovered. Those are your headlines. I'm Carsley Fuller.
For the latest in news and information,
follow Radio Cayman on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Download the Radio Cayman app or log on to our website, radiocayman.gov.ky.
I grew up in a Canadian village with a general store that had just about anything you could ever need. That's what I'm reminded of every time I go into West Bay Pharmacy. It's not just because it's well stocked with necessities and oddities, but also because it's like our community hub. The staff treat customers like friends. Ron and the team of pharmacists have kept my family patched up and flu-free for years, and there are usually a few good laughs mixed in. They are truly taking care of my health and my family's health. West Bay Pharmacy is the very best of Cayman kind.
There's nothing like the smell of freshly baked bread. The warm, inviting aroma, the fresh and natural taste. Just like homemade. 100% all-natural, additive-free bread.
Enjoy fresh and natural tasting bread from the iconic Caribbean Bakery. Always delivered fresh to your favorite supermarkets island-wide. Forget the imported frozen and thawed and enjoy our freshly baked selection of quality breads and pastries.
Try our classic white and wheat sandwich breads, coconut and raisin breads, hamburger and hot dog buns, and a great selection of pastries. Feed your family fresh with Caribbean Bakery.
Hi, I'm remodeling our bathroom. I have a few questions.
Sure.
What are some ideas to make my bathroom feel larger? How do I know if I'm picking the right vanity? How do I choose a new toilet or a new countertop? Also, the lighting is terrible. Can I put a window or a skylight? And do I really need an exhaust fan?
You've come to the right place. At Brand Source, we custom design kitchen and baths, and our talented design team can help answer your questions. Whether you're looking for a modern, functional family bathroom or a luxurious personal retreat, we'll help create that beautiful space that makes your home yours. And if you're in a rush for a new look and have a limited budget, our ready-to-install bathroom vanities, built with solid wood and countertops of the finest materials, are a quick and easy remodeling solution.
For the very best in custom-designed kitchens and baths, visit Brand Source Home Gallery on Dorsey Drive, Industrial Park, Cayman's Kitchen and Bath Center.
What's that? No sugar, same amazing taste? Coca-Cola Zero Sugar is here to stay. Classic taste, pure satisfaction. Be sure to stop into any Tortuga location and get your own case of Coke Zero. Or grab an ice-cold one straight from the cooler. Brought to you by Tortuga Distributors Limited. Coca-Cola, taste the feeling, Cayman.
Radio Cayman News. Would the independents be able to form a majority, or would the progressives manage to retain control?
Newlands Member of Parliament, the Honourable Wayne Panton, is Cayman's new Premier.
Let us pledge to never take our people for granted.
I urge you to have the best interests of the people of these wonderful islands firmly in your hearts.
Radio Cayman, your voice, your choice for today's biggest news.
For the record, with Ort Connor.
Initiating system. For information that matters. For the record, with Ort Connor. Continues right now on Radio Cayman.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. I got caught off guard there a little bit. We will be perking in a few minutes again. It is my pleasure to have in the studio with me this morning representatives from the Department of Children and Family Services. No guests to the studio, sometimes in other capacities as well as Radio Cayman in general, none other than Mr. Rael Roberts. Mr. Rael Roberts, his substantive position with the department, he's the Deputy Director of Department of Children and Family Services. Today, he is the Acting Director of Children and Family Services. Mr. Rael Roberts, good morning, sir. Welcome to For the Record.
Morning, OC. Thank you for having me.
And also in the studio with us, we have Miss Belinda Gordon. She is a social worker at the Department of Children and Family Services, but she is also the chairperson of the Child Month Committee. Miss Gordon, good morning. Welcome to For the Record. Also with us, we have Mr. Calvin Duncan. He is also a social worker and he's the co-chair of the Child Month Committee. Mr. Duncan, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning. Thank you for having us.
Okay, and I'm going to throw the mic back over to Mr. Roberts now and tell us about Child Month in the Cayman Islands.
Thank you very much, and morning to all. I think it's funny to see these young social workers looking scared on the radio. You can loosen up. Child Month is, I think, since 1997 has historically been the month around the world as well as here locally where we have highlighted the children in our society, making sure that they are represented. We usually put on activities throughout the month that are planned by our team. The co-chairs are here, but as well as partnering with other agencies in the Cayman Islands. This year is no different. Ironically, we have not missed a year of doing Child Month, as I said, since 1997. Mm-hmm. Last year it was actually it was virtual. The director actually very wisely lit a fire under all of us and said, hey, you know what, despite what was going on, we need to make sure that we were still taking care of the children. So last year's Child Month was virtual. This one has the flavor of virtual as well as it has some physical components that are going to be happening throughout the month. As many know, the Department of Children and Family Services has been the forefront in terms of helping families and children throughout the Cayman Islands. We have our dedicated teams, our family teams, our adoption and foster care, youth, elderly, community development, youth worker teams. We actually have our homes, our caregivers in the homes, the Golden Age home, as well as in Maple House and our new Habakkuk house. So there are children involved in all aspects of life. So when we look at trying to develop a child or trying to shine light on a child, we want to make sure that we understand that they're usually a part of a family system. This year, many of us went through COVID. Well, all of us went through COVID and continue to deal with the pandemic. And for many of us as adults, we have had to adapt to different ways of life, to certain stressors that were placed on us, especially during the lockdown time. And so this year, the committee has chosen to focus on giving our children back the strength, letting them know that they are superheroes and they can overcome any challenges. So the theme this year is My CAPE, and CAPE is an acronym for CAPE. It's an acronym for Challenges Are Possible for Everyone. Mm-hmm. And we're looking at the idea of a cape like a superhero cape. So we want to encompass and surround our children with the information, the knowledge, the tools to get through whatever they have faced since the pandemic has started, and also lend a voice to our community, other partners in the community, so that they can work together with us to help parents and families speak to our children. I know that especially with teenagers, they spend a lot of time in the room, so you really don't know what's going on. I just say to a friend the other day, it's interesting because we spent all the years prior to COVID telling our children to get off of all the electronic devices, and then we locked them down and said, okay, get on all the electronic devices, and they ran with that. So a lot of times we have children in the room that we don't really see them to know what they're suffering with, whether it's the anxiety, whether it's the depression, whether it's the friendship piece, So our goal this year is to give them a voice and to give the community some strength in helping them become better individuals.
Mm-hmm. So is it has COVID-19 then made it even more challenging based on what I'm hearing, as far as addressing the needs and concerns of our youth?
Initially it was. As a department, we had to be very creative. And as I said, I think we skipped a beat for a whole 48 hours. And then after that, we continued to do social work throughout on Zoom and that sort of stuff. All the social workers were in touch with their clients via Zoom, videoing. We did home visits virtually, and we checked in on our children virtually. The MASH unit was continuing to operate, taking in any type of calls of distress for our children in the community. And our social workers, I must say, kudos to them, took whatever PPEs they could and continue to go out in the community and address the issues that we're placed here to address.
Okay. We'll move over to Ms. Gordon.
Hi.
As chairperson of the Child Month Committee, I'm sure that you must be extremely busy, and of course with the challenges of COVID-19, even though things are much more relaxed now in the Cayman Islands because of our success with it, but I'm sure that you have had some challenges along the way as well.
Yes, I'm trying to juggle my caseload and actually commit to the committee itself, but it has been exciting time for us. We started planning from January of this year because we were so excited to figure out what type of activities we can cater to our children, to get them out, get them involved, and in partnership with our agencies and sponsors. So this year we have a wide range of activities. We had to cut some further in the year, but we're very excited with what we've selected and our agencies that's coming on board. Yeah.
Okay, you want to, well, what we'll do, we'll take a commercial break, DJ Lynn, and when we return, and we can talk about specifically about some of these activities. And of course, if our listening audience, if they have any questions or comments in relation to it, or even suggestions, feel free to call. We do have the phone lines open if you have any questions, but it should be in relation to Child Month in the Cayman Islands. Please stay tuned. For the record, we'll be back shortly.
What's that? No sugar, same amazing taste? Coca-Cola Zero Sugar is here to stay. Classic taste, pure satisfaction. Be sure to stop into any Tortuga location and get your own case of Coke Zero. Or grab an ice cold one straight from the cooler. Brought to you by Tortuga Distributors Limited. Coca-Cola, taste the feeling, Cayman.
I grew up in a Canadian village with a general store that had just about anything you could ever need. That's what I'm reminded of every time I go into West Bay Pharmacy. It's not just because it's well stocked with necessities and oddities, but also because it's like our community hub. The staff treat customers like friends. Ron and the team of pharmacists have kept my family patched up and flu-free for years, and there are usually a few good laughs mixed in. They are truly taking care of my health and my family's health. West Bay Pharmacy is the very best of Cayman kind.
There's nothing like the smell of freshly baked bread. The warm, inviting aroma, the fresh and natural taste. Just like homemade. 100% all-natural, additive-free bread.
Enjoy fresh and natural tasting bread from the iconic Caribbean Bakery. Always delivered fresh to your favorite supermarkets island-wide. Forget the imported frozen and thawed, and enjoy our freshly baked selection of quality breads and pastries.
Try our classic white and wheat sandwich breads, coconut and raisin breads, hamburger and hot dog buns, and a great selection of pastries. Feed your family fresh with Caribbean Bakery.
Hi, I'm remodeling our bathroom. I have a few questions.
Sure.
What are some ideas to make my bathroom feel larger? How do I know if I'm picking the right vanity? How do I choose a new toilet or a new countertop? Also, the lighting is terrible. Can I put a window or a skylight? And do I really need an exhaust fan?
You've come to the right place. At Brand Source, we custom design kitchen and baths, and our talented design team can help answer your questions. Whether you're looking for a modern, functional family bathroom or a luxurious personal retreat, we'll help create that beautiful space that makes your home yours. And if you're in a rush for a new look and have a limited budget, our ready-to-install bathroom vanities built with solid wood and countertops of the finest materials are a quick and easy remodeling solution.
For the very best in custom-designed kitchens and baths, visit Brand Source Home Gallery on Dorsey Drive, Industrial Park, Cayman's Kitchen and Bath Center.
For the record, with Ort Connor.
Initiating system. For information that matters. For the record, with Ort Connor. Continues right now on Radio Cayman.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. It is my pleasure to have in the studio with me this morning representatives from the Department of Children and Family Services. We're discussing Child Month, International Child Month, here in the Cayman Islands. That discussion has taken place with Mr. Rael Roberts, who is the Acting Director of the Department of Children and Family Services, Ms. Belinda Gordon, who is the Chairperson of the Child Month Committee, but she's also a social worker. Also with us, Mr. Calvin Duncan, who is also a social worker, and he's a co-chair of the Child Month Committee as well. So we're going to talk about some of the activities now with Miss Belinda and Mr. Calvin. Yeah?
Yes. So we have a month full of activities, like I said before, and this year we'll be opening our Child Month with our church service that will be held at the Red Bay Church of God Holiness. That's May 2nd at 9 a.m. At the church service, we'll also be presenting our awardees award. So those two young children, we've got a teen and a junior that will be receiving an award. So we look forward to persons coming out that's open to the public to come and help celebrate the opening and also provide this award to young persons. We'll have throughout the month of May our Radio Cayman sessions where we'll be providing the public information on what's to come as it relates to Child Month. Also the services we offer to our general public throughout DCFS. We'll be doing a teen jam in Cayman Brac. We'll have youth game nights every Friday offered at the various churches in the community. We'll also be having our Snuggle and Read at the primary schools throughout the month of May. That's a great opportunity for families to come out, read with their children, have a snack, and mingle. In addition, we'll be having our information session at Foster's Food Fair, Airport Park, where it gives the opportunity to the public to come out and get information as it relates to the youth services team and also other information about the department again. So it's a one-stop stop for persons. And we'll also have our Talent Under the Stars event that'll be held at the Pedro Castle on the 22nd of May. That's a free event for the public. That will be from 6:30. We'll have a number of young persons performing, local bands, and it's an opportunity for family to come and have that family time under the stars.
Okay. And now, other than last year when we had the COVID-19 situation, what has been the public response to the events that you have been having celebrating Child Month?
We have a lot of support from the public. The children are involved, families are coming out and giving the support. We also get suggestions on what we should offer in the following years of that sort. And it's something that we continue to offer just because we get that feedback, we get that support.
And this invitation is open not only to those persons who may be the recipient of the services of Department of Children and Family Services, but everyone, I would imagine.
Correct. Yeah, we're definitely encouraging the public to participate. Some of the events are closed, but for the most part, all of the events are open events where we want children to be involved. We want them to participate. So it's a learning experience, as I said in the beginning, for not only the children, but also a learning experience for the community and awareness, as I said, we really don't understand for the most part how much the pandemic has affected our children. And I find that even in our community, we don't talk about it as much. And if you are to speak to some of the therapists, counselors, social workers, you'll find that you're recognizing that they have been impacted significantly. And so we just want to be able to create that awareness for that, award those who have done well, and then encourage those through the CAPE month to kind of find the tools they need to become even better productive members within our society.
Okay, Mr. Duncan, I want to hear about your involvement, as well. I want to hear from you.
Yes, sir. My involvement has been predominantly working with the new panels that we have. We have a junior panel discussion as well as the teen panel that will be taking place this year. Typically, in the years past, we've only had a teen panel. However, this year we've decided to include a junior panel to allow age group 10 to 13 to have an opportunity to voice their opinion, and that will be taking place here as well on Radio Cayman. So the public will have an opportunity to listen to our youths and hear their experience during COVID, as well as what are the different capes, if you will, that they put on to help them overcome whatever challenges they have experienced throughout COVID. Yes. So with the teen panel, of course, just like the juniors, they'll have the same opportunity as well to voice their experiences.
And before he goes on, one of the things that's important that I just want to drop in here is that we have participants from all over Grand Cayman, Cayman Brac, and Little Cayman. So it's not just dedicated just to Grand Cayman.
Yes.
The activities also are there. I mean, one of the things that we, and I'm sure Mr. Duncan will get into that, but one of the things that happens is we're starting the church service launch, as I said, this Sunday at Red Bay. I invite everybody to come out and participate with us. But then we have church services in Little Cayman, and then we also have church services in Cayman Brac to close off the event at the end of the month. So we, as well as activities. So we're making sure that it's not just physically in Grand Cayman, it's spread out over all 3 islands, as well as of course, Radio Cayman reaches everyone. So as a partner, you guys are going to allow and help us to even reach more children out there. There's one of the things that I just wanted Ms. Belinda to expound on before we move on is she mentioned that on Sunday we will be given the awards, and I just wanted her to tell us, the listening audience, a little bit about the process as to how the awards in which children are not we don't reveal the children, but like how children qualify to get the award and win the award. I think that's also very, very important to incentivize and encourage our children in doing better. And as Mr. Duncan says, putting on that cape and getting through things in life.
Certainly. Go right
Thank
ahead.
you for that, Mr. Rail. So the department every year prior to Child Month, what we would do is meet as a committee, and we would send out to the schools a criteria for young persons to be nominated for our Child Month award. This year, we've put a little twist in it. We've also decided to do 2 awards instead of 1. One, as I said prior, would be junior, and one would be the teenager. So for persons to be considered, our criteria is that they have to excel in work and within the school setting, involved in various activities in the community as it relates to how involved are they, what do they offer to the, in those areas. And then we look at how do they support other young persons? How are they role models to other young persons? Things of that sort that we would look at as it relates to the criteria for identifying those. Once those are received back, then we as a committee would do our voting, and then we would identify according to the criteria who's the best fit. And we would then keep that a secret until the church service. So persons have to come out to see who those young persons are that's been selected.
Okay. Will the service be streamed in any way, or it has to be in person?
Yes, we're making arrangements for that to happen as well.
Okay, excellent. Now, Mr. Duncan, in relation to the selection process, so you go over the recommendations that you have received. Is there any personal contact with those individuals who've been nominated? Do you talk to them directly, or you just basically go on the submissions?
We haven't spoken to them directly at this point. However, we have taken into consideration what their nominations came in as far as what was explained regarding each of the candidates. And we took into consideration, did it meet all of the criterias in order for us to pick them as the winner. And the entire committee had the opportunity to pretty much go ahead and pick who they choose for the winner. And then after each person on the committee picked the winner, then we went ahead and looked through to see who did we all pick. And as far as I can recall, it was pretty much unanimous.
Okay. Any special roles that would be assigned to these winners throughout the year, so that the focus is still on them, the attention is on them, and then that torch is passed on to the next winners? Any thought being given to that or plans?
It's something we can take into consideration. That's a very good suggestion.
Yeah, we don't have any titles associated to them as yet, but as Ms. Gordon has said, it's a great suggestion. But we would expect that as their bios of sort have come in on what they have been doing, and I tell you, everyone that came in was definitely a winner in what they're doing, that they would continue to empower the young people around them and continue to increase that awareness of what's going on with them, and lend a voice to it. I think that we all know that, when you try to talk to young people, as young as I feel, there's a point where they start to tune you out. So again, not only the winners, but those who have been selected, if they continue doing the work that they're doing within the school settings, I think that they're going to continue to impact the children that they are around, and I believe that they will sometimes probably even lend a greater impact than myself or other social workers, in terms of looking at us as almost like a parent figure. And of course, there's a certain age where what we were saying doesn't make sense to them, according to them. So I think that just being able to say, once the names come out and it's publicly known, for the public also to encourage these participants to continue to do the good work that they're doing.
Exactly. Okay, we're going to take a commercial break. We know that you were scheduled for maybe half an hour, but I think, and I'll throw this out to you, that once we finish discussing Child Month, that those aspects of the Department of Children and Family Services that you want to let people know about, I want to give you an opportunity to talk more about the department in general, especially in this time of COVID-19. We know that the people have certain expectations. We know at times that people complain sometimes about service, about long queues. So I want to give you an opportunity to highlight the Department of Children and Family Services. Tell them what you do, and give out any information in relation to some of the misconceptions or misapprehensions that they may have about the Department of Children and Family Services, if you want to. So folks, please stay tuned. For the record, we'll be back shortly.
What's that? No sugar, same amazing taste? Coca-Cola Zero Sugar is here to stay. Classic taste, pure satisfaction. Be sure to stop into any Tortuga location and get your own case of Coke Zero. Or grab an ice cold one straight from the cooler. Brought to you by Tortuga Distributors Limited. Coca-Cola, taste the feeling, Cayman.
Whether you're finishing a new condo, upgrading your rental property, or simply renovating, make Ropers Enterprises your first stop. Quality furniture at a fraction of the price. Find everything for your home and kitchen at low prices. Ropers, your neighborhood store. Value, integrity. Ropers Enterprises, 122 Industrial Way. Your home deserves a quality finish. Visit their showroom or shop online at ropers.ky. Ropers, providing products and services for better public health.
Did you know that defective airbags can cause serious injury or even death if not repaired immediately? Right now, millions of vehicles around the world are under recall for faulty Takata airbags, and yours could be one of them. At Vant Motors, our priority is to make sure the Toyota or Ford you drive is safe. So we are offering customers a free, fast and easy airbag swap out if your vehicle was manufactured in 2016 or earlier. Find out if you need to have new airbags installed by emailing your Ford or Toyota vehicle's VIN or vehicle identification number to service@vantmotors.com, or stop by Vamp's Service Center or call us at 949-2245. Don't risk it. Get the airbags in your Toyota or Ford checked for free at Vant Motors on Walkers Road.
For the record, with Ort Connor.
Initiating system.
For information that matters. For the record with Ort Connor. Continues right now on Radio Cayman.
Good morning. Welcome back to For the Record. We're discussing Child Month with representatives from the Department of Children and Family Services. The month of May, of course, is Child Month, celebrated here in the Cayman Islands. I just want to remind you the phone lines are open. Our toll-free number 1-800-534-8255. If you want to talk about Child Month, or if you have any questions in relation to the Department of Children and Family Services after we finish discussing Child Month, the panel, they have agreed to stay to talk about the department itself and the services that are offered through that department. No doubt, an event like Child Month in the Cayman Islands, there's a certain amount of reliance on sponsors as well. We know that those companies that are good corporate citizens, responsible corporate citizens, we always talk about the youth of the Cayman Islands, that's our future. So they should be investing in our future. How do you do as far as sponsorship is concerned, and how, if individual companies or individuals want to sponsor, how can they go about doing that? Ms. Belinda?
Well, persons can reach out to our department and speak to our director or the deputy director. We also reach out to the various companies prior to Child Month to seek their support. So that's ways of which they can reach out to us, and we'll do our part.
So when it comes to sponsorship also, there are not only just companies, but even different youth groups, charity groups. As we have mentioned, Radio Cayman has partnered with us. We have churches partnering with us in terms of some of the events. We have Lions Club that is partnering. You have some more. Go ahead.
Yeah, we have Circle of Love, also Feed Our Future, and we still have a few more to come.
That's coming on board, and as Ms. Belinda had said earlier on, as later down in the year, there's still opportunity to help sponsor and get some of these events off the ground. So if you're interested in partnering in an event that has also already been created, or if you're having a children's event that you would like for us to endorse, then just let us know about it. One of the things that I don't think has been mentioned yet that I think is also quite important is that all the activities are not just done with Ms. Gordon and Mr. Duncan's little committee. Everyone in the Department of Children and Family Services is involved. So each unit in the department has taken on the responsibility to carry out a specific activity throughout the month. So it's not just on top of all the other stuff that they're trying to do. They are also bringing their little portion to it and lending a hand to making sure Child Month is successful. So if anyone else out there, the ministry has also played an integral part, and as I say, the government overall. But if there's anyone else out there that really wants to jump on board with us and continue to make this a successful event, it is a yearly event, so it doesn't necessarily have to be you just thinking, I'm going to sponsor this year. We're put this on every single year. As I said, we had to get creative last year, but it still went on, so this year is no different. So once you are open to helping and assisting our children through this process, then just reach out to the department and we'll get you involved.
Okay, and the sponsorship, in what form does that have to be? Just financial, or can it be cash or kind?
We are open to financial, but we also give sponsors the opportunity to assist us in any way that they are able. So we're not only limiting it to being financial.
Correct. Yeah, because even when you think of the places, on some of these events, there's refreshments that's needed.
Yes.
So again, if we don't have to purchase refreshments, and then that funds can go to something else. There is, I think the other day they were asking me about panelists, so if there are therapists out there or people who can help with being on the panel, that can be also a sponsorship for you, your department, your company. So again, however you can bring your skill set, your finances or your business towards helping this process be successful, then we would be open to taking care of that.
Okay. We want to make sure that we cover everything in relation to Child Month. So check your notes, make sure.
Well, I know that we haven't finished all the activities yet.
Yes,
so continue.
okay.
Yes, there was another activity that I wanted to point out that is a fairly new event that we're putting on this year. Will actually be taking place in Cayman Brac, called the Teen Wipeout Challenge. So that will be a pretty interesting event to see, as it will be an obstacle course allowing the children to participate in that, and they'll have the opportunity to win awards as well. So that should be an interesting one. And I do want to point out the biggest positive of Child Month this year, being our theme is CAPE, challenges are passable for everyone, is that also through the junior and teen panel, we have the opportunity to pass on different coping skills to children in the community. Oftentimes, as adults, we have our own coping skills but neglect to pass them on to the children. So they don't typically know how to deal with certain situations. And this will be their opportunity to listen in and hear what their peers are doing in different situations. Because at the end of the day, the more coping skills that you have, the easier it is to deal with any challenge that comes your way. Hence, challenges are passable for everyone.
Okay, Ms. Belinda?
I just wanted to add, as it relates to our Sister Islands activities, we'll also be offering a Teen Jam, a family fun day in Little Cayman. In Cayman Brac, we'll have a family game night. We'll also have a celebrity reading day. That will be in Little Cayman and Cayman Brac. So those are some of the activities that their Sister Islands will have to offer. So you have to look at our calendar to get more information. I just want to leave that piece out.
Yeah.
And in regards to our partner agencies, we also have the Tyler Lounge and the Crisis Center. We'll be offering a few activities throughout the month. They'll be offering movement of mental health wellness activity that's open to the young persons and the public, giving them the opportunity to come out and have discussions, health, and to gain skills as well. The Crisis Center and Tyler Lounge will also be offering the Welcome with Waffles. That's another activity to get them out.
Can you go into detail into that? What is it all about?
I got to leave that a secret. I want the young person to come out. It involves food.
Yes.
We'll also have the Tyler Lounge offering the snack and paint. So that would be something, again, for them to get involved. They're all free events. And in regards to the other partner agencies, we have the Authors Club. They will be offering a reading session at the Georgetown Library for a person to come out and hear some stories from the local authors, get to know those persons, family time. And the library service will also be doing a Discovery Day video essay competition online, so persons can tap into the library services for more details on that. We'll be having the National Drug Council offer the Robax in the public schools, primary schools, Grand Cayman and Cayman Brac as well. So those are some of the partner agencies. There's more to look through and get involved. Yeah.
So you can see that OC takes, even though we're spearheading it and we're at the front of it, is taking really the whole community to get these events here. And we're hoping that we can continue to put on more, or that other members of the society will tell us what they're doing in terms of enhancing the capabilities of our children, or somehow giving them the tools to get even stronger during this month and continuing, but especially this month, so that we can continue to update our calendar on Facebook or as in the newspaper as it's supposed to come out. So just look out for the events, participate, come out and participate. I think that one of the things that I've also seen with children events is children will come and maybe one parent, and I think it's important for us to encourage them through our visual participation. So again, you talk about sponsorship. Mm-hmm. Everyone in this community can sponsor the event by showing up. Showing up at an event, and so that our children can feel special enough to kind of go, hey, the entire community came out to see us and to enhance what it is that the department is trying to do. So I encourage you all to look at the Child Month calendar and decide what it is that you can participate in or partner in, and just show up.
Okay, and I would imagine that the times that you've selected for certain events to take place, it is to accommodate the adults to be able to support their children as well.
Yes, that is in fact something we consider.
So most of the events are like in the evening that we're talking about, the participation events. So there's absolutely no excuse. I think the fact that we've gone through the lockdown and hated being inside, we need to prove to the earth that we like being outside and interacting. So come out and interact safely, and show our children that we care.
Okay, we're going to take our last commercial break. When we return, the conversation with Mr. Rael Roberts, Miss Belinda Gordon, and Mr. Calvin Duncan from the Department of Children and Family Services will continue, so please stay tuned.
Did you know the third most important factor for customer retention is cleanliness? With 95% of shoppers saying exterior appliance influences where they decide to shop. Keep your business clean with Roper's Janitorial. From offices to restaurants, interior and exterior, walls to rugs and flooring. Roper's cleans it all, including 24-hour emergency service. Roper's Janitorial, 949-2511, or email janitorial@ropers.ky. Dress your business for success with Roper's Janitorial. We make your business shine. 949-2511. Roper's, providing products and services for better public health.
The Green Turtle app. So many options. One easy solution. All new subscription feature to automate your weekly, bi-weekly, or monthly top-up. Makes your life easier. Never lose a number again. Keep your children on budget. Yes. Make sure you can stay in touch with your loved one. Woohoo! No hassles. Green Turtle makes it easy. Take a ride on Cayman's Green Turtle Express. Download the Green Turtle app today. It just makes life easier. Remember, you can get mobile gift cards for Xbox, PlayStation, Apple, and Spotify delivered right to your phone. Playtime is now in real time.
What's that? No sugar, same amazing taste? Coca-Cola Zero Sugar is here to stay. Classic taste, pure satisfaction. Be sure to stop into any Tortuga location and get your own case of Coke Zero. Or grab an ice cold one straight from the cooler. Brought to you by Tortuga Distributors Limited. Coca-Cola, taste the feeling, Cayman.
Members of the public are invited to attend the 2021 National Children's Festival of the Arts, April 29th to May 1st, featuring the Gold Award winners in the performing arts from various public and private schools. Entrance fee is $5 for adults and $3 for children, starting at 6:30 p.m. on the 29th and 30th at First Baptist Church and on May 1st at the Triple C Auditorium.
For the record, with Ort Connor.
Initiating system. For information that matters. For the record, with Ort Connor. Continues right now on Radio Cayman.
Good morning. Welcome back to For the Record. We're on the last leg of the show this morning. The discussion taking place with representatives from the Department of Children and Family Services. Mr. Rael Roberts, whose substantive position is Deputy Director of the Department of Children and Family Services, but today he's also the Acting Director. Miss Belinda Gordon, who is the chair of the Social Month Committee, and she's also a social worker and co-chair of the Child Month Committee, Mr. Calvin Duncan. We do have one comment and observation from one of our listeners, and they're saying, just wondering if the children have any suggestions or input or voice as to what requirements could be what requirements are needed. Sometimes it may appear more transparent to students and parents when children participate in those decisions. It empowers and encourages all children from all sectors of our community. And they go on to say, when students are chosen, some children feel left out, feeling a lack of self-worth when, in their eyes, they have been doing their best in so many ways. Any observations or comments?
And I think that is such a valid statement that listener is saying. We definitely want to be able to encompass and all the children and highlight their work ethic. I think in any competition, you're going to have that feeling like, what is the best? We did set out a criteria that was sent to the schools, the principals, teachers, and I'm aware of parents who got involved in terms of letting us know what it is that their children were doing or the children in the school were doing. Again, once we got that information back, it was for us to use a very strict criteria in choosing, based on that criteria, what it is or who it is that we thought represented the best person at that time that represented the criteria. But it is valid, and that's why I said even earlier that I think it's important that children continue to encourage children, that we continue to encourage our children. They all need awards and gifts. And, I do feel at times, sometimes putting on a competition, so to speak, highlights one child over the other, as it's designed to do. But it's meant in no way to say that a child who is doing their absolute best is not recognized as quality work in their eyes.
Okay. Anything else on Child Month that you want to highlight before we shift gears?
The only thing that's left is again, I would just encourage the co-chairs to just speak quickly of the events that are coming up this week. As I said, on Sunday we know it's the church service. That's the launch of it all. So it's the month of May. So it starts on Sunday. And the other events that are going on this week, if they could just run through that quickly for the listening community.
Certainly.
On Monday the 3rd, we'll have Radio Cayman, and the MASH team will be representing the Department of Children and Family Services, as well as in Cayman Brac, we'll have celebrity reading taking place at the public library from 6 to 7:30 p.m. From there, on the 5th, we'll have peer support group taking place at Georgetown Public Library from 3:30 to 4:30. And then on Friday the 7th, we'll have the Youth Game Night, Georgetown, and it will be taking place from 7:30 to 8:30 for ages 12 to 17. The Teen Jam will also be taking place on that same Friday in Cayman Brac from 7 to 11, and that will take place at the Youth Development Center, as well as we'll have the Cayman Islands Crisis Center and Teen and Adult Lounge. Food for Thoughts will be taking place on Eastern Avenue.
Okay. Very quickly, and I'm grateful for the fact that you're willing to entertain some questions, or at least to explain what the Department of Children and Family Services does, because I believe many members of our public are confused with the Needs Assessment Unit.
Correct.
And the Department of Children and Family Services, and what takes place between the two. And maybe you can clear up that. Clear on that. Yes.
Yeah, I think the public is still a little bit confused because both agencies are there to help the community. And as they were one at one point in time, but there was a separation. Basically, I think the easiest way to look at it is the separation of the funds, so the Needs Assessment Unit primarily deals with, all the funding in terms of housing, food, that sort of services. And so if you are in need of those level of services, then that's where you go. When it comes comes to Department of Children and Family Services, we do more of the therapeutic intervention style services. As I said earlier, we've broken up into different aspects. So we have the family service team, and that team deals mainly with whatever issues are occurring with the family. They're also the team that does a lot of our court stuff. So those are the social workers that are doing a lot of our court reports, a lot of our means reports, so they're always in court and helping families through different court systems.
I know, so social inquiry reports.
Social inquiry, right, yeah. So
most judges ask for.
Right, yeah. A lot of judges. So that team is always highly stressed and always under pressure. And they'll be here. All the teams will be here throughout the month, so we can go into depth there. But adoptions and foster care is also a team that we have separated out. And in terms of adoptions, we have a board that reviews all the adoptions and goes through the adoption process. In terms of foster care, I want to just send a plug out there to have anyone who believes that they would like to get into foster care to please contact the department. We're always looking for foster parents or foster homes that are suitable for children. Sometimes the respite may be as couple hours versus a little longer, but it is important that in our community we have a place when a lot of our social workers unfortunately have to take care of a child, that there's a place that we can have that child rest until we move on with the process. We have the youth team. Right now, they take care of a lot of the youth within the community, as well as they have a youth diversion program that is going on, and that says it for itself. That program is designed to try and divert our youth away from the criminal justice system, show them a different way of life. So that program is specifically designed for that. We have the MASH unit, which is our child safeguarding unit, which is our front line, those ladies, along with the officers from the RCIP, deal with all those heavy cases in our community, and they have seen an increase, and so they are definitely overworked. We're trying to definitely improve the amount of people over there so that we can continue to provide efficient services through that unit. The elderly unit, again, that unit takes care of all of our elderly needs in the community. Elderly investigations and elderly abuse investigations are also something that we have been focusing on. And so, again, one of the things, once you start to do these investigations and it's very specific, then all of a sudden you start to find more and more issues that we have to address. So the social workers are always under pressure to not only identify problems in our community, but also solutions to those problems with limited resources. We have a community development team that is assigned for each district. So again, I'd encourage those people in each district to know who your community development officer is, because those officers can assist you, whether it is through what services are needed at NAU, which is our sister company, but also whatever services you need with social work, whether it's elderly or youth intervention. So that is one way of looking at how the department can help, is making sure that you know who your community development officer is and making connection with them. We have the homes. So we have right now the Golden Age home is the elderly home that we have, and the community care workers that we have. The community care workers that we have there assisting those persons within that home. So again, there's always capacity for growth when it comes to that. There are social workers who go into those homes and also work with the elderly within the homes. And then we have Maple House and Habakkuk House, who is where our special needs children as well as adults are housed. And we have social workers that attend to whatever social needs that are present there, and we make sure that the community is aware of whatever needs they have. So when you look at the plate of a social worker in the Cayman Islands and the gamut of things that we have to do, there is a lot, but I think there's always that perception that we're sitting behind a desk twiddling our thumbs and kind of, not getting things done, because when people are in need, the one thing that is important, or one thing that they feel, is that they want that service right away. You want to be resolved right away.
Question very quickly for the two social workers here. What made you choose the career path that you decided to, and how rewarding do you find it as a social worker?
I would say, as a young Cayman growing up, hearing about the different social workers made in our community, as Mr. Reyes said, limited resources, I felt that me complete my studies and come back home, I'll be able to actually contribute to the difference that we're making, come up with solutions as to how we can better address these issues, and also be a role model for the younger persons that's coming up in our community. So that's why I'm here.
Okay, Mr. Calvin?
Ever since I was a little kid, I felt that adults and peers alike would come to me and sit and vent different things that they're experiencing. So for me, it always felt like a calling. And then not to mention, my parents actually became foster parents while I was in high school. So I began to learn of all of the different things that kids my age and younger were experiencing. So for me, it was a shock to realize that other kids are experiencing all different kinds of trauma. So I just wanted to be able to help those kids, because what if they didn't have someone to help them? And I just wanted to be that person, to be able to help as many people as I can, because at the end of the day, not everyone has that support system or that person that they can reach out to help them with whatever it may be they may be experiencing. So for me, it's just about helping others.
And I take it your job isn't a 9-to-5 one.
No, it's not.
Yes. Well, I want to thank you all very much. I want to wish you all the success in Child Month as well. Anything that we can do here on For the Record, and I know I can speak for Radio Cayman as a whole as well. We will do our part. Folks, I want to thank you for allowing Radio Cayman, and by extension For the Record, into your homes, into your vehicles as you traverse the busy roads of the Cayman Islands, into your places of work, wherever that may be. I also want to remind you that we are our brothers and our sisters' keepers. There is always someone out there who's less fortunate than we are, and I ask you to extend a helping hand to them. If you can't do that, then I suggest you donate to a worthy charity or even Child Month. So I say to you, because we always want to consider those who need, not necessarily those who want or even those who crave. So I say to you, have a great day. Continue to support your radio station, Radio Cayman. John Sterling, Dwayne Banks at 12:15 for Talk today. And as usual, we ask the good Lord to bless these three beautiful, wonderful Cayman Islands.
For the Record is brought to you by Vamped Motors, the only authorized Ford and Toyota dealership serving the Cayman Islands. Coca-Cola, available across the Cayman Islands from Tortuga Distributors. Accept no substitutes. Taste the feeling with Coca-Cola. Brand Source Home Gallery, inspiring luxury.
Caribbean Bakery, made Cayman fresh.
Also brought to you by Ropers Enterprises, 122 Industrial Way. Products and services for better public health. Green Turtle. Take a ride on the Green Turtle Express today. Download the Green Turtle app, the future of mobile, saving lives today. The Ministry of Commerce, Planning and Infrastructure, and by West Bay Pharmacy, taking care of your health.
You are listening to Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands.
Today's biggest news.
Radio Cayman. Your voice, your choice.
Local, regional, international. This is Headlines from Radio Cayman's newsroom.
Today's biggest news.
Cayman's former elite athlete and international boxer Charles the Killer Whitaker was arrested